They are preparing right now and softening you up with body blows for the post-election chaos they, the left, are about to cause. Now, of course, if the media calls it for Biden, it'll be they'll expect a peaceful transition in that respect. But if Joe Biden loses, you could throw that peaceful transition thing out the window. Saw this morning on Axios. Read this article. Read it, memorize every word of it. So a group funded by who? This group, we'll get to that in a second. Dem group warns of apparent Trump election day landslide. Axios. Got a screenshot from this. So a group funded by, Paulo, throw up that screenshot if you don't mind from the Axios piece. Is already warning, hey, if Trump wins in a landslide, it may not be a win. It's called Hawkfish, which is funded by, Michael Bloomberg. Yes, that's right. Slurpee, straw, nanny state, take away your firearms guy, that guy. So they're saying now, imagine America with its polarization and misinformation if the vote tally swings wildly towards Joe Biden and Trump loses days later as the mail ballots are counted. I'll translate this for you in a minute. It says this group funded by Bloomberg is warning that this is a very real, if not foreordained outcome. Ladies and gentlemen, what are they doing here? Body blows, soften you up, drop your arms right to the head. Body, head. They're softening you up right now. What they're suggesting here, this Democrat group, this is talking points for the media, folks, is, hey, listen, Trump could win this race resoundingly in the Electoral College and in a landslide, but Joe Biden is not going to concede. He's not going to concede because we want post-election chaos and we want to steal this election if that scenario happens. Of course, Trump could lose. But if that scenario happens where Donald Trump wins, and it seems overwhelming on election night, that's just a facade because we still have time to cheat. You get it? Joe, you get it? We still have time to cheat. And if the media people call the race knowing Trump won in a landslide, that'll take political capital and momentum away from the cheating effort because there'll be no guesswork. In other words, if every media outlet says, we predict Donald Trump the winner of the 2020 presidential election based on this electoral college tally and the popular vote within each state, that'll cut off immediately Joe Biden's efforts to cheat at the knees. So follow me here. Here's the scam, the scammerooski. Hawkfish, this group by Michael Bloomberg, is already putting out through this well-funded effort the media talking points that, hey, listen, even though Trump could win in a landslide and the race could obviously be over on election night, hey, who knows what could happen in the coming days? And we should all wink and a nod. We should all refrain from calling the race, even though we know we should call the race. You ever seen anything like this in your life? We have been calling presidential races in the media. I've been on the air for them. I was on with CRTV last time, 2016 election. The same way forever. You base it on exit polling. When polls close, you get an early count of the numbers, and you can predict with general accuracy who won each state. If you don't, they hold out. They don't want any of that happening because they're not going to concede. I'm telling you, they're not going to concede. Mark it. Remember Hillary Clinton, Joe? Was it just a week ago we played that video? 2 weeks ago, Hillary Clinton? Joe Biden shouldn't concede no matter what. Folks, I'm just preparing you now. This is not an alarmist show. I love this country. We can get through anything. I hope. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. I'm not even kidding. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm worried about it. You should be too. We are dealing with deranged lunatics who will not concede a presidential election. What do? I understand there's a constitutional process for disputed elections in the House of Representatives. I know exactly what happens. But you're assuming that that process is going to be respected. Like what? The same process that we're not supposed to spy on American citizens or impeach a president for made-up crimes? Those processes? Those didn't quite work out either, did they? I am really, really concerned where this is going. So not only we have this group, Hawkfish, funded by Bloomberg, just a coincidence, of course, sending out the talking points to media. Don't you dare call this race, even if Trump wins overwhelmingly, because we still have time to cheat afterwards. Don't you dare. Here's an interesting little memo I found. A hat tip, Dave Raboy, who I saw this. This is the Transition Integrity Project. This is 100 thought leaders, code for we can't stand Donald Trump, who got together and they had this report, Preventing a Disrupted Presidential Election and Transition. The gaslighting here is just spectacular. The gaslighting and the dipsy-do flipperooski is just absolutely spectacular. The Transition Integrity Project is already putting out talking points too. Check it out. This a minute. Look at this. If there is a crisis, listen, Joe, pay attention for the audience here, Armacost.
We'll do
this
so.
is the talking point to the media. Here's what's going to happen, media people. Not only should you not declare Trump the winner, even in a landslide, but if you see street chaos, I want you to get your talking points and your narratives ready now to cover for the people burning down buildings in the event Trump wins. Here we go. From the Transition Integrity Project, code for Never Trumpers. If there is a crisis, events will unfold quickly. Oh my gosh. And sleep-deprived leaders will be asked to make consequential decisions quickly. You think that's a little hat tip to the military folks? Thinking through options now will help to ensure better decisions. In other words, military folks and others, you better get ready for some street chaos. Think this through now. Don't declare Trump the winner immediately. Folks, it's not a joke. It's on paper. The Transition Integrity Project. Here we go. Planners need to take seriously the notion that this may well be a street fight, not a legal battle. That is not Dan Bongino improv. That is from the Transition Integrity Project's own document. Planners need to take seriously the notion this may be a street fight, not a legal battle. Technocratic solutions, courts and a reliance on elites observing norms are not the answer here. Dude, are you reading what I'm reading here?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
These
typical
are
commie crap. Yeah, the setup. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is going to be a street fight? You know what they're doing here, right? They're softening up the media and the public to get ready to cover for mass demonstrations that could potentially turn to violence in the streets if they don't get the outcome they want. And they're already preparing the media to don't you dare give the public the outcome that is, give them the outcome we want by not calling the race for Trump, no matter what happens, even in the event of a landslide, because we still have time to cheat. And when the riots break out, get your talking points ready now. And by the way, you media, military folks, government leaders and otherwise, don't you dare make sleep-deprived decisions. Like calling an election that Trump may win for Trump. What do we do, Dan? You get ready. I told you this fight was coming to your door. I was not kidding. Get ready for unrest like you've never seen before. Be well prepared. Again, I'm very sorry. I'm not here to scare you. But I think before 2020, things we thought we'd never see in our lifetime, we've seen in our lifetime all in the same year. Before I move on, I want to just leave you with an optimistic note. I do believe that this country's been through a lot. We've been through a civil war, a revolution, 2 world wars, and we've come through it on the other side. My generation, I'm in my 40s, we have escaped a lot of the horrors of our older generation's lifetime. Trench warfare, world wars. Not all of us. We've had a lot of people my age who've been to Afghanistan and Iraq and elsewhere. But we live in the most prosperous time in American history. I'm not saying that's going to end. I'm just saying after this election, get ready for a, quote, street fight. Their words, not mine.
You just heard Dan Bongino.